Quite often, companies have credit cards, and we need to make sure that we are properly tracking the charges and payments on those credit cards and any refunds or credits that are made to the account. And so, QuickBooks has a way for us to do that. Um, and hopefully, you have very diligent people that are providing you with the receipts as they are paying for things or buying things. But you also have the ability to connect electronically to your credit card company, and you can download the charges electronically so that you don't have to wait until the end of the statement period and all of a sudden find out that there were transactions going on that you knew nothing about. It also lets you attach any backup documentation to this, so kind of a nice way to keep track of everything. And so the transactions that are going to be recorded is there will be a credit on the credit card liability, and the debit will go to an asset or an expense, whatever the case may be. And then when we go to actually pay for that, we'll then debit the credit card liability, and the cash will most likely come out of operating. So to enter a credit card charge, if you're not going to do the automatic download, and even if you are going to do the automatic download, it's not going to know what account to apply it to unless if you use the same kinds of accounts for the same charges, QuickBooks will begin to learn what is associated with what kind of transaction. But otherwise, you're going to have to go in and associate the transactions with the various accounts. So all this does really, if you download it electronically, is A, make you aware that it's there, and B, save you some data entry. So this also lives under the banking window where you will enter credit card charges and then purchased from. So you can indicate the vendor that we bought this item from and enter all of the information about the charge, and then on the expense tab, select the account that this applies to and save and close it. And so you see we have all that there. And now we're going to go and pay our credit card. We'll go to the Write Checks window and choose the bank account, and it'll be paid to the order of wherever the bank account, Discover, Visa, whoever it is. And then we will indicate credit card liability and save and close. And so, and they remind you that just because we might have purchased the item from JCPenney, unless we used our JCPenney card, if we used our Visa card, we don't owe JCPenney any money. So we recorded who we bought the item from, but the reality is we owe Visa or MasterCard or American Express for that purchase. And so here's how we pay that. And the last thing I'm just going to touch on is some reports that you can do associated with your banking. If you can do a deposit detail report, but more importantly, a missing checks report. And sometimes checks can get just they're stale. Somebody lost it, they forgot it, it got stuffed between two things, or it got thrown away or shredded, or things like that. And so you want to not have those checks just floating out there forever. You want to track them and figure out what happened to them. And so a missing checks report is a very concise way to see all of the checks that didn't get negotiated for some period of time. And actually, there are procedures where after a period of time, if a check hasn't cleared, we can't just take that money and go, oh, so sorry, they never cashed the check we wrote them, so I guess the money's ours now. Nope, you still have to track that money, and after a period of time, it gets submitted up to the state treasurer's office, and there's a report that goes with it. And then if they happen to ever search their name, they will find that there are missing funds that are associated with them. And it's always good to check that periodically, because you never know when there might be funds missing and you could have a little surplus. But This is the deposit detail report for the month and a copy of the missing checks report. And again, you can filter these things by date. And account transactions. And we certainly also at the end of the month want to print our journal report, profit and loss, and our balance sheet. And that concludes chapter 10.